Wasn't plugged in there. Boom. Boom, boom. Boom. Mm-hmm. Boom. What up, Brody? Oh, shit. I almost forgot about Johan. Tonight we are doing The Walking Dead Season 2 review. The Reverend Robbins will be joining me soon. We got calves in the background, just in case shit gets, you know, gets a little critical. And we got Ohio Man working in the background. Oh shit, Joan? What's Joan mean? Just waiting on Reverend. Let's give him some of the elevator while we wait. Well, it should be a great night then. If that's the case. Hold on, guys. Let me get this all set up here. Let me let Jason know I'm ready. Jay might be sleeping. No, I'm joking. He's got to be ready. But yeah, tonight is Season 2 of The Walking Dead. It was I forgot how long that season was. That was one hell of a fucking action packed. A lot of decisions were made on that one. Time to praise the Lord, says Scott Ash. Pesci had his WWE Batista gimmick on last night. Did I? Last night I kind of forgot. Isn't it weird? And I wasn't even like drinking or anything. That was a 10-hour stream. When you do 10 hours, everything after is kind of blurry. But yeah. Scott, what's going on with your basketball team? They looking good? My guest should be joining us any time now. Let me get a little weed smoking. Boom. You good in there, Clark? All right. Oh, don't want to talk about it. Why? Your team's not doing good? I doubt he'll dip. But I'll get something twisted while we wait. Tonight's his night. Instead of Cyberpunk. Any news on the war? Oh, he said I'm a Westbrook fan still? Okay. I didn't know. My Wisconsin Badgers are looking good, though. What, in basketball? My Wisconsin Badgers. Hmm. We're good?
Yep. I'll see you Monday.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Did you get everything?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, bro.
Yeah. Thank you. And that fan. Grab that fan.
No problem. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was Ohio Man for you first dayers. Welcome to the party. Tonight, we are going to be feasting on some Carnegie, mixed in with a little Rivaderci, mixed in with a little Curvamero. Ladies and gentlemen, we got fucking Jenny, Mango Alley, the sweet Mango Jennifer is in the goddamn building. Shout out to Mango. Wait, let me give her a little love. Let me give her a little love from the States. You know what I'm saying? Boom. That's looking pretty good. My guest is a little late. Oh, shit. You got my timer checking in from Twitch. Let's give him a little love. Well done. Yeah, let's go, baby. Twitch love. One more, baby. Yeah. Stand up back there. Ricky, you smoking? All right. Later? Okay. That's... No, don't start, please. Thank you. Get that guy out of here. Boom. Boom. Don't worry, we'll get rid of him for you, Mango. Sending love. Well, I'm sending love your way. Whoa, Twitch party in the hey, 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 hey. Let's fucking party in this motherfucker. Fuck it. Oh shit, you know what that means? My guest is arrived. First of all, I'd like to take a special thanks and thank the PWO and everybody out there. This is going to be one action-packed show tonight. Season 2 was off the motherfucking chain. But without further ado, let me invite my guest, the man that while you're at home sleeping, this man is on the road delivering packages. He's making sure you get your shit. He's making sure you get what you need. Ladies and gentlemen, the best hairdo in the business, the Reverend Robbins. Whoops.
Shalom, everybody.
How you doing? Let me turn you up
Can
a
you
little
hear
bit.
me?
I can hear you perfect.
Good. Good.
I think on my end, my speaker's a little bit low, that's all. Dude, how you doing?
Been a good day, man. Been a good day.
I didn't finish 3, so that's why we'll do 2. I didn't realize how long season 2 was. I thought it was
There's a
another
lot.
like there was a
There's a
lot
lot
to
to
unpack.
learn,
And
yeah.
listen, you know what, Jason? I am actually gonna print these notes real quick on my printer because I actually have a lot of questions I want to ask you regarding
Cool.
the season.
All right.
I'll tell you what I think about it, but there were some questions I had regarding how the group handled stuff, how Rick handled stuff, and I wanted to just kind of see what was going through your brain. But let me pull up my notes real quick. Let me print. Boom. Yeah, the only reason why I take a little bit of notes here and there is just so I remember certain things because I'm a stoner.
Mm-hmm.
But let me make sure my printer's up. Damn it. Give me
Hello,
one
everyone.
second. I'm hooking my printer up. Go ahead and say hi to everyone. Whoa, Ashley's in the building.
Hello.
Hello, Ashley. Hello, everybody. Whoa, Widowmaker's in the building. Give me 1 second. I gotta plug my printer up. Well, let me put some. 1 second, Reverend.
Hello. How's everybody doing tonight? Good to see all of you. Yeah. Mountain Man, good to see you. Sending blessings your way. Hope you're feeling better. Ariel, nice to see you. Enjoyed the show the other night. Interesting talk we were having. Sheriff's in here. Good to see him. Ashley, good to see you.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, I unplugged everything. I'm a fucking idiot tonight. I guess I'm going to have to just read it off of here. I guess my thing wasn't. Okay. Let's start off with season 2. All right, Jason. First of all, I don't know if you remember, because you watched it a little bit ago, but tell me a couple things that you liked about season 2 and didn't like, and then I got a few questions for you.
To start off with, they escape the Season2.
They get the Herschels. The kid gets shot with the deer.
Yeah, he gets shot. Yep. They're
they're
on the road.
The way they found Herschel, do you agree with that?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. And it was, it kind of added to story, and it gave Carl a little character. So they needed they were going to need a doctor somehow during the thing anyway. His character had to come in somewhere. They were going to need a doctor for if they were going to survive. They were anyway.
I don't know if I would have did the gunshot to Carl the way they met. Maybe a little bit more of a serious injury, because it's kind of a graphic thing to think about when you think about Otis.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts of that whole ordeal with Otis and Shane having to go back and?
Well, yeah, that's later on. Yeah, it just shows like.
That's actually it's kind of towards the beginning of season 2.
Yeah, that's probably about midway. It just shows like, I think it just shows like how demented Shane really was. Like, he was crazy, man. Like, he was just showing, his probably his true colors. But at the same time, it was that fight or flight, that, okay, this is the world now, so we have to adapt to it, and he was like, every man for himself, and I'm only going to take care of the ones who I care about, and screw everybody else. So,
right.
The
one thing I will say about season 2, that it when you think of where they are at now, it's crazy how much more kind of exciting it was, how much you cared about the characters. The first thing I remember I wrote down is when they were on the campers in that road, that horde kind of snuck up on them quick. For them always using binoculars, for that horde to kind of sneak up on them, I thought that was kind of quick.
Yeah. And, and it was, it was really smart of them to, hide under the car. I mean,
I like when Daryl used the walker. I put that down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To cover them.
He was saving T-Bone, and used the walker on top. I think it was, it was because the way they introduced Herschel really wasn't, as much Carl as it was, okay, Sophia got lost, so we had to go find her. And I think eventually, if they wouldn't have shot Carl, they would have stumbled upon the farm anyway, because it wasn't very far from where he had gotten shot. So, I mean, I think they would have eventually stumbled upon it and found him that way. But, I think him getting shot was, a good way to introduce the
I was saying hi to somebody.
the doctor.
Oh,
I mean, it was, and he's a vet, so that's cool.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing that I did not like is how kind of, okay, first of all, you saw how Carol early on wasn't running after her daughter, how scared she was.
Yeah.
What I didn't like is Rick tells her to go underneath the trees, and he comes back and she's just gone. The fact that she couldn't find her mother and they couldn't go a little bit far, I thought that was kind of far-fetched. Did you like the whole looking for the daughter? Would you have done something else there?
I think if you were going to have to get rid of her, you had to do it that way. I mean, she she obviously wasn't going to be a character that was going to last through the long run. I mean, she was, kind of one note. I mean, she was a kid, I know that, but it was like, you didn't see her advancing like you did Carl.
But show her dying at least. Yeah. I know it's kind of like they show the barn. I think they should have showed what happened to her on her little. I don't know. I don't know if you like the idea of that.
Yeah, I think it's that she just got bit, and he, that he put her in the barn with the rest of the people. So
the walkers sitting at the church, I thought was weird when Rick walked in, and there's just 3 walkers sitting down at the church like they're at church, and then they turned around and go after him. That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
The Herschel hoarding the walkers in the barn. Did that make sense to you?
Oh yeah, I mean, because he was gripping. He couldn't grasp that they were actually dead. He thought that they were, like sick animals. Like he just thought it was a disease. But it's like, and Rick and them knew that they were dead because of what he explained to him at the CDC, that they're no longer, consciously living. They're just on impulse of, feed and stuff like that. So
yeah. Well, I just thought he was too smart for that. Or wouldn't you be worried? And the feeding the walkers, I was like, wow, they're actually feeding these walkers. And well, you knew there was going to be a problem with that. I don't know if they just did that for a reason to do a show or whatever. You know what I mean? Go on.
And remember, like we're still in season 2, so everything's still kind of new. So it's not like in season 6 where everybody who we meet knows what's going on and they all know, like, okay, this is the dead come back to life.
It's crazy that Merle used a line I didn't get when Daryl's like dreaming of him. He's having those dreams and he thinks he's seeing Merle. Merle uses the word Democrat. Wasn't that weird that they would put that in The Walking Dead? He goes, you're going to go around with those. He said a racist word, and then he says like these Democrats. I don't know what the writers were trying to do with that whole thing. That was kind of awkward.
Merle's supposed to be portrayed as a dumb redneck, a dumb redneck meth head,
Yeah. Yeah, and so let's see. We had the Sophia part now. And then you know what? I'll tell you this. This is obviously the season where Shane dies. Mm-hmm. I actually liked Shane's character. You know what I mean? I thought maybe a little too early for him to go.
Yeah. I wish they'd have kept him around. Like I said last week, like I think just the whole Shane, Lori, Rick dynamic was it shouldn't have been like that. I mean, I think they could have, made her a lot less important than what she was.
Yeah.
And kind of focused on their friendship for a couple of seasons. And then
I did not like her character. I always thought she was trying to start trouble. What did you think of Rick actually killing Shane?
I mean, I think it was. Well, I mean, obviously it was, because he had to go, film another movie. He was already scheduled to go film another movie, but I think it was, I think it was, I mean, his character, like Shane's character at that point, I mean, it was going to be one or the other. Like he was either going to kill Rick or Rick was going to have to kill him. I mean, there wasn't no redeeming him at that point.
I just thought maybe he could, and then how Rick goes, do you think that was kind of shady how Rick said we could look past this and still kill them with the knife? He goes, we can look past this. And Shane went to hug him and he killed him. Do you think that shows Rick being a little bit, I don't know, do you think that was right of him to do it like that? Or?
I mean, I think that was just like, that just showed the Rick becoming unhinged and, turning into, I'll give you the theory on it. I think it was, it wasn't as much about, I think Rick had got to that point where I don't think it was as much about him and Lori as it was him seeing Shane as a threat to his power, to his leadership. Because, just a few, like one episode later, after all this happens, is whenever he gives his famous dictatorship speech and tells everybody that this is my way or the highway, and if you want to go,
he says this is no longer a democracy.
This is no longer a democracy. You're going to do what I say. Yeah, the dictatorship.
In that little cave. Okay, let me tell you some things I did not like, and then while I'm saying, if you noticed, if you could think of something, go ahead and chime in.
Yeah.
I didn't like a lot of the Lori. Yeah, the element of her being pregnant now did add something to it, but whenever they would not be doing that, they would just have her be a character, or the suicide daughter. I didn't like that. I just thought maybe you could have done something else there. I thought they didn't do shit with T-Dog. Obviously, he's going to die eventually, but they kind of didn't do shit with T-Dog this episode.
He did have he had the he had the thing with Daryl where Daryl saved him, and then he got a bad infection for her. He got cut during that herd attack.
The cut was kind of out of place too. I thought, I was like, damn, one cut pretty much is about to take this guy out. I thought that was a little long.
And then it happened that Daryl had the antibiotics and all that in his possession, and they didn't know it. And then it was like, he had suffered for that long, and then it's like, oh well, I had this shit if you just.
And I like Dale. Maybe I wouldn't have killed Dale. I would have maybe let him linger around for a little bit more.
No, I mean, I wouldn't have killed Dale as fast as they did, but then you have to realize that, Dale, as far as they are, Dale would have never survived. Like he would have. I mean, he was weak and he was old.
And he wanted, when they were tying that kid in the barn. I think they should have. I don't understand. I know Rick knew where they were, but because the guy knew Maggie. I don't understand why they wouldn't just. I don't know. I thought they went to a little bit too much trouble for him. It was kind of interesting, if you're watching it for the first time. What's Rick going to do? Mm-hmm. Is he going to kill him? Are they going to do this? And the question is, I wonder how Rick would have handled it if Shane didn't do what he did.
I
Let me see what else I have.
I mean, I think he would eventually killed him. Are you talking about the guys who attacked him
They tagged him in the bar? Oh, I love that scene. That was Walking Dead when it was really good. You get to see Rick thinking, kind of changing, making that, that decision. He surprises Glenn. I was always a big Maggie fan, large Maggie fan. Hold on, let me see. What's crazy is how did that hunter even miss the kid when he shot Carl? That was, he just happens to be in a
No,
spot
yeah, I
where,
mean, like, how did he not, like, how did he was right there, like, he should have been able to see all three of those people stand there, but he still shot the deer, and I mean,
and the search for the daughter I thought was kind of long at times. I guess it makes sense when you ever walk out of the barn and it shows Rick, you were wasting all this time on her and you should have been worried about other shit.
yeah,
Yeah, and another thing is I don't think they should have put as much emphasis on a group leader as they did. Like, you're our leader
yeah.
now. Yeah. What else I have here? Yeah, we talked about the horde sneaking up on them. Daryl used a walker to cover them. I like that. Carol, it's interesting to see weak Carol. You know what I mean? Considering
Yeah.
what she becomes. And like there's times and it's funny as you probably wouldn't have noticed this really as you were watching it, but it's like when that they ran after her daughter. Nowadays, if
Yeah.
that would happen, she would be right after them too.
Yeah.
It showed she was scared. She was sitting back in camp cleaning while they're out there looking for the kid.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I mean, like, I think that her daughter had to die for her to become, a stronger character than what she
yeah,
is. And,
I have
I
no
mean,
problem with the daughter dying. Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool they did it like that. I just thought the way she got lost was like a little far fetched because it was like, here, stay here. And these kids are normally scared. And then all of a sudden she's just like, fuck it, I'm out. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Hold on, let me catch up on these comments, see if there's any questions. I don't know anything about The Walking Dead. But yeah, so another question I have for you. So Rick killing Shane, did you like how they did that? Do you think Shane hating Rick that quick? Do you think that was a little bit far fetched? Or should they have done more with their
Yeah, I mean, there was resentment there. I mean, the moment he saw Rick, I think that it was like, oh, the shit's up now, and you're supposed to be dead,
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just like, as far as him, like I said, it could have went a little longer. I think that Shane.
That's what I mean. Do you think maybe they should have brought him to the prison?
I think that Shane should have stayed, and they could have worked together, and they could have helped each other out, and there could have been some kind of slow tension, and then and then say like in season 3, say that the governor kills Shane, and that's what drives Rick over the edge and turns him into
there you go. So now you're thinking outside the box. I like the idea of that a lot more.
Yeah.
And then you don't really have time for the group to assess Rick killing Shane because Andrea gets split up. The farm is overran. Convenient timing for really not there to be. Because if that would have happened while they were bunkered at the farm, there would have been more like, yo, can we trust Rick? Why is he killing Shane? Shane's been there. It wasn't like too many people got to grieve for Shane unless we get to see that in season 3. I can't remember.
No, they don't. No, it's.
I did like the character. I did like it.
Yeah, well, because there is a bit of a time jump in season like to get to season 3, but we can talk about that next week.
Yeah.
I was just watching season 3 right now.
They extend time a little bit between the seasons to kind of make up for the people getting older.
Yeah.
With what now with Herschel, for instance, going down to the bar, I like that scene, but it's like him him having to go that far for liquor, I thought was a little bit crazy. Like
Yeah.
I'm thinking, hey, you didn't have a bottle at the house, buddy, and I get it. It's for a story. Um,
Yeah.
Rick should have just left that kid there. I think that they
Yeah.
just, if they bring it with them, they would have something to try to figure out. Like I said, I like Dale. I thought he died a little too quick.
Yeah.
And in the way he died, the zombie ripped open his belly like these zombies had inhuman powers.
I mean, superhuman, for rotting flesh, like they just can just rip them open and it's like, wow,
Yeah.
they're strong.
Yeah, just he said, wow, they're strong. Yeah. And yeah, so and then that's what I said. So I liked Shane. I didn't like anything to do with Lori. What's interesting is Carl goes, "Go ahead, Dad, and kill him." Well, you think when Carl said that, "Go ahead and kill him," it was weird that made Rick not want to kill him. What made you think that, Jason? Why do you think Rick didn't want to kill him? Because Carl came in and said, "Don't kill him."
No, he didn't want his son. He didn't want his son. He wanted to try to keep his boy innocent as possible. He wanted to try to keep him from where he wasn't, exposed to the insanity and the violence and the death and the destruction as much as he possibly could. I mean, he was going to see it, but he wanted to try to keep him out of that as long as possible, which is also where him and Shane.
Oh no, go on.
Which is also where him and Shane kind of quarreled a little bit too, because if you'll remember, Shane was like, okay, well he's because Shane cared about Carl. Shane loved Carl. He loved him like his own son. And he's the one who gave Carl the gun. He was trying to teach Carl he was trying to help teach Carl how to shoot. He wanted Carl to be able to defend himself and be able to live in the real world, or the world that it is now. And Rick still wanted to, keep his son from, having to experience that. And I think whenever he saw Carl there, he was like, oh my God, he's really gone. Like he's lost it now. Like he's not a kid anymore.
I want to know the part when Shane decided that he wanted to kill Rick. I thought that him wanting to kill Rick was quite quick. It was just like, boom, I want to kill Rick. And then Rick goes, hey, man, we could get past this. And then Shane goes to hug him. And that's when Rick stabs him. I don't know what to think of Rick there. Was that wrong of Rick there for him or was it just like, hey, man, I had to do this now? Or was it a matter of the writer saying this guy's out of here?
It could be that, but I think like he explained it in his speech whenever he was giving his, this is not a democracy speech. He explained it where it was like, he was saying, you've seen how Shane was acting. You've seen how he was turning everybody against everybody, how he was like a poison in the group. He was reckless. He was, cold. He was callous. He was manipulative. And he was going to end up getting everybody killed to save himself. And Rick was like, I had to do it to save everybody else, to save all you guys. So, he was.
Hey, but like, Shane did bring them to the dance, kind of.
I mean, he helped them get as far as they did. And then, like, he helped Rick out. Like I said, I think Shane should have stayed around a lot longer. I would have written Shane a different way, Yes.
I mean, and we don't even know if it was just a matter of The Walking Dead probably wasn't paying a lot of these guys big dollars. So when he gets
not then, probably not. I think I had read somewhere where they were only getting like $10,000 an episode or something like that, which in Hollywood is nothing.
Wow. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, because you figure it takes a couple of weeks probably to film an episode, and they're working, 12, 13 hours a day. I mean, some like late at night. So, I mean, you figure that's
going to get really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I mean, he had the opportunity to go do the Punisher, probably make a lot more money. So it was like,
Netflix, and he's the
I mean,
lead role.
what are you going to do?
And you never know. He might have been wrote in as Shane, knowing he was going to die then.
Well, the character in the comic died like that. Yeah. So I mean, most of them knew what their place was. And then it's like, if you look in the comic books, the actual character of Carol died like in the beginning, like whenever they first started. Her character got killed. No, her character got killed like at the beginning whenever they got attacked by the zombies for the first time.
Wow.
The character of Carol. And because they liked
I'm surprised they don't do more flashbacks showing them when it first jumped off. They did like one quick one, kind of showing how the group got together. They don't ever address that. And now with Shane gone, I know they don't bring him back now because I've seen that.
No, I mean, because most of the people from the original group are dead.
Yeah. So I said, now in the new one, I think, has it started yet? Did it start last week? I didn't even check. The new one, I think the people that are still alive from the beginning is only Daryl, Carol, and Maggie. I think that's it. Unless I'm missing somebody, because everybody else, Negan wasn't there, and some of the other people they have. That's just crazy that show really did flip-flop. Everybody that was in the beginning is kind of gone. I think Rick he wanted more money or something, or he was just tired of being up here in the United States, I think he wanted family. I don't think it was a money thing.
Well, they were going to give him like $1 million an episode, I want to say it was. Like they were going to give him a lot of damn money for it. And I think he just, he just wanted to get out of it. The guy who plays the governor is a stage actor. Like he works on Broadway and stuff like that. So I think that's why he left as quickly as he did, because he went to go back and work on Broadway. Funny enough, I wanted to say the guy who played Herschel, I can't remember what his name is, but he died. He was battling prostate cancer.
Yeah, I know
he was filming all that stuff. He passed away he passed away not too long after the filming.
Yeah.
I think he died like in 2000.
Spin-offs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the one thing I will say, I think overall though, Andrea. Did they make a mistake by not going back and looking for her? Should they have went back and looked for her? Or was it like, how do you do that? You saw Walker fall on her?
Yeah.
Because that's what happened. T-Dog, let's be walking to the scene. What happened was she's fighting a Walker. The farm is burning down. She actually killed this Walker. The Walker falls on her. All T-Dog saw was the Walker fall on her. He jumps in with two of them. They leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
horse was trying to fight. I'm fighting to the end with the farm.
Yeah. I think that I don't think they'd have been able to find her. I don't think they ever showed how Michonne found her. I don't think they ever showed that.
I'll tell you what I just watched. They did show that. All it was this. She's sitting down. Not sitting down. She got attacked. She fell down in the leaves. And the Walker was about to get her. And then you see Michonne's sword go through the Walker. And then
I remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
She rips the jaw out. And she walks them down the street like dogs, which was brilliant. Which I think that is something they lacked on big time, was showing Michonne character early. doing some stuff with her or flashbacking at least so we could see her character because there was some shit
Yeah.
there. I know they did some flashing back, but I just thought the ones they did
Yeah.
were kind of boring.
Yeah, in season 3, you get a lot more of her, which is good. I mean, she's a good
Yeah.
character. Is she still alive? Is she still alive in the new season? I don't remember. I haven't seen it yet.
Well, no, Michonne never died. The way they wrote her character off was really weird. It made no sense. She didn't die. It wasn't like Rick's. It was basically like she went on a run, and then it's gonna sound so stupid, Jason, but it's true. She basically went on a run. You know how she has the daughter now, and the
Mhm.
kid she had with Rick or whatever. Well, somehow
Yeah.
she's out doing a run, and she decides, even though she's all about her daughter and all about her son, she decides just to leave. She decides she has to go do some shit to where she
Yeah.
gets a letter back to her daughter. I don't know if Daryl read it or someone reads it, but they're literally telling Rick's kid and the other kid, hey, she went on to do her own thing. She loves you though. And
Yeah.
then somehow the little daughter just understands. I don't know. The new season is so crazily bad. I'm like shocked at times. Like, wow, I can't believe they went this route. Like, I wish I could be making some decisions for them.
Yeah. I mean, but that was the show. Like, how far can you go with it? I mean, really, like how? I mean, are they gonna come? Are they gonna encounter a new bad guy every episode? I mean, every
Well,
season is gonna be,
I would have did it. I would have made Rick's death mean something, so you could
yeah,
maybe consider ending it or letting people know we're getting to the end instead
yeah,
of just saying, you know what, I think we could. They probably really wanted to do their season with the Whisperers. And if you ask me, the season when they got rid of Rick, that should have been when the Whisperers were introduced anyway. You know what I mean? Let's get them
yeah,
in right away. Let's not have Rick. Remember they were like bad. They had Negan's camp, and some of Negan's camp wasn't, didn't want to work with them, and that's when Carol killed them all. And
yeah,
remember that like Carol scene? I mean, that was a decent scene, but they were really starting to struggle, the writers, at this point. Like
yeah,
I always said before, the way they handled the whole Rick thing was a catastrophe, if you ask me, considering how important his character was to everybody and
yeah,
how far along they got him. Not that, yeah, people, yeah, well, he survived. Well, yeah, we get that, but there was no surprise. They let you know as a network we're 3 days away from Rick's last episode. You
yeah,
guys just made a living on not letting people know when you're going to die. Like, for instance,
yeah,
Shane was killed in the last episode before the finale. You would have never thought that they would do something like that, kill Shane in a non-season finale episode, but that's how good The Walking Dead was then.
yeah,
They could do things like that, spur of the moment. They didn't have to save everything for the season finale. Like,
mhm,
there was the element of surprise during the farm. What's going to happen? What's going to happen with Shane and them? You didn't know. Problem Walking Dead started to do in the future seasons is you kind of knew what was going to happen and when. Like, okay, they're leading up to this, and they're gonna drag this to the finale. It was like
yeah,
they got a pattern of us knowing what was going to happen instead of us being surprised.
mhm.
And
No,
then
yeah. I mean, yeah,
your ultimate failure is obviously, I mean, when you got guys like Shane making 10 grand, I mean, I'm pretty sure they were going to leave when they're
oh
that
yeah,
good. But what happened was you lost too many guys like Shane and Rick and other people along the way, and you didn't have the next man up that you would care about as a character, like a Daryl. You would see these characters and you were just invested in them, limited. Now I know what that means. See, I never knew what that meant, invested in a character. Now I know what you mean when you give us these bad characters. And you were into a Rick. You were into a Michonne. Michonne's gone now. Rick's, you got Daryl and Carol, but you got Daryl like having this like Obi-Wan type of Daryl now. Now he's like he doesn't quick he's not quick to kill you. He's not quick, you know what I mean? He's like thinking about things. He's like
Yeah.
trying to be I guess they're trying to he's trying to I guess maybe I didn't even think of this. Maybe he's trying to be the new leader because everybody's gone and he's got the daughter looking up to him and shit like that.
Yeah.
Carol's like I said, Carol's still floating around. They got the king still floating around. Basically they have to end it. Negan's still floating around. Basically the story is, and I didn't really see the end, but or what kind of made them friends. I got to rewatch them. Maggie has the son old enough to where you can see he looks like Glenn. You know what I mean? The Asian guy. So the kid's old enough where he looks just like Glenn. And really the story
Yeah.
is right now is she going to kill Negan? You know what I mean? Because, I mean, when you think about it, if she was going to kill anybody, it would be Negan. But everyone's like, he helped
Yeah.
us. And Negan did something to help. But it was like, you could do that. They helped. But what they did with Negan up to now, even when they did let him go into Whisperers, it's just, I don't know. They took what Negan was completely away, and I understand that because he's being locked up and he's with them.
Yeah.
But I just thought they took too much of him away. Where you're just like, maybe they should have killed him. Maybe, like when Rick did kill him, I remember where I was. I think I'm standing right over there when that really happened. And I said to myself, I think they should have killed him.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
don't.
know,
I didn't see a world that he survived in. But yeah, go on.
I mean, you know, I don't know. I mean, we can like whenever we get to, yeah, like you know, Negan's a good character. You know, I mean, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is a phenomenal actor,
Yeah.
and from all accounts, a very nice man.
Yes.
I
Oh yeah, you
loved
can
him in
tell.
Soup.
You can tell.
I
You see him with Daryl in real life. They're friends.
yeah. I mean, like he just has that, you know, like between him and the governor, like you could sell, like the governor was such a crazy, manipulative, evil man, and
You
like
really like the
Negan's,
governor, huh?
huh?
You really like the governor, huh?
Like the governor's character, like the governor was a good villain. Negan was like, you know, he was. I mean, like he was more like an anti-hero almost, which you know I
Okay.
mean the Walking Dead is one of those shows where it's always a gray area of who the good guy is and who the bad guy is in a lot of sense. I mean, like, you know, because it's just like, Rick did some really fucked up things, and he's
My
not a
favorite.
good person. And
I'll tell you. I'll tell you this, Jay. What is interesting about this, and I'm really not bored watching the old episodes. I'm really not because what the early characters I like to see. Oh, you kind of now when you see what they become, you're seeing what the writers did with their characters
yeah,
beforehand. Carol being afraid of walkers, them taking 5 to kill 1. You start to see Rick learn. Remember when he
yeah,
showed Shane he cut himself? Now they stopped doing that eventually. I thought that was a little too far fetched. I thought why cut and put blood on a fence when all you got to do is make noise? They're coming after you no matter what anyway. But they did
yeah.
that where they were just trying to show you learning, lure them in. Rick killed them. I thought that scene was interesting when they were fighting, and he threw the wrench at him, and then I think that's when I would have killed that other character. I would have used him as the bait to get away.
Yeah. You know, I think like just to talk about like so I don't know if you've gotten this far into season 3, but I'll just
No,
throw this. I'll just throw this one out here.
I was behind, but now I'm caught
Yeah.
up. I'm ready for 3. I didn't know it was 13 episodes. I thought like season 2 was 8 or 10, and it was 13. I did all 13. So I'm caught up to where it obviously looks like they're about to find the prison. I think the airdrop was found in the woods. They did show that real quick. Michonne got a walker to save her life. I think we're having, I don't know if a storm's coming. I'm having a little bit of low Wi-Fi.
There's a little lag. I can see it. Yeah. But
Yeah,
no.
sorry.
So there's a scene in season 3 where Rick, Michonne, and Carl are going to go get supply. They're going to go find supplies, right?
Okay.
And as they're driving down the road, they see a guy with a backpack on, and he's running and he's asking them for help, right? And they just drive right on past him, and the car gets stuck, and he, they see him, and like they get the car and he's running back, please help, please help, please help. I'm not a bad guy, please help. And they drive on, right? And then so later on, like stuff happens during the show, right? Like during the show. And they're coming back, right? And like they've just completely ignored this guy. And you come back and you see this guy, and he's been like devoured, he's been killed and devoured by walkers. And his backpack is still on the ground. And like they stop the car to pick up his backpack. And it was like, them sons of bitches, man. Like they just let that poor man die like that. Like so.
I like when Herschel's like, you guys are the plague. He calls them the plague when they're, you know what I mean? It's like, what'd you want them to do when they found those walkers in the barn, Herschel? I mean, it was time to take them out. They were decaying. But I do like what they do. I'm obviously probably going to see it. This is when Herschel becomes a little bit more of like a battler in this one, a little bit more away from his old ways. Like I said, my favorite character, not my favorite character. I just think I love the way she looks. I like Maggie, but Shane was definitely. I think I like Shane, but I do like the change. Like Rick Grimes becoming Rick Grimes, that's pretty interesting. And I thought that the Andrew Lincoln, who played Rick Grimes, I thought he did well with that role, considering he doesn't even have an English accent.
Yeah. No, I mean, he was,
Was there anything you did like other than, what else didn't you like from season 2 that you might have took out?
Let me see.
I said the suicide. That's one I would have took out and just put something. You don't have to say what you would have put in, but suicide is one for me.
I'm trying to remember
Would she
that
try to
now.
kill herself?
Yes. No, I mean she's a very good character. Andrea was, and she was like in the in the comic, like in the manga, she lives much longer than what she did in the show, which I think the character.
I wonder how interesting the comic would be if I tried to read it. Like if I read it,
it's a lot more.
I know it's
a lot. Yeah, it's a lot more graphic. I mean, it's a lot more like vulgar, and it's it's not for TV. That's for sure. Like there's the shit that they couldn't show you on TV, So we're gonna jump ahead for one more second here. So when the governor is interrogating Maggie, right? And he's like, take your shirt off, take your clothes off, and all that shit. So in the comic, he actually rapes her, right? In the comic, he does. Like he, bends her over the table and
hit that in the show. I thought they hinted that she did something.
He didn't do anything to her in the show, but in the comic, he goes all the way with it, and he ends up like he, he does some really, really sick shit in the comic. Like he raped Michonne, and he like, I remember he was like,
Well, wasn't Negan? Yeah, the guy who wrote that comic, kind of interesting if you think about it. Didn't Negan fuck a lot of women in front of the males? Remember the guy with the scarred face? Wasn't Negan fucking his wife?
yeah,
This guy ended up going over to the other show, Fear,
mm-hmm.
and
Yeah. I mean, that was just, yeah. I've never seen an episode of Fear the Walking Dead, so
dude, you know what's crazy is now that would not be a fun show to review because season
no,
one was it was like they had the idea. You're like, oh, okay, we get to see how it happened. This should be cool. And then everything was fast forward to where you're caught up to Rick in that. Because Morgan came over and they had that other guy with the scarred face with a wife that was being fucked by Negan or whatever.
Well, so from what I understand about Fear the Walking Dead is they started out with their own cast and they killed off their own cast and they started bringing cast over from the other show and it's like a parallel,
like this. So it starts, right? And I recognize some of the actors. And I'm like, oh, okay, this should be decent. Before you know it, it was like, oh, she was just here for a pretty much cameo, like a season or whatever. They kill off, like you said, pretty much they killed off the top 4 characters, and you're staring around, and yeah, they bring Morgan over, and they bring another character over, but then these characters are shells of what they were that you liked. Like, all of a sudden, Morgan developed this thing where he didn't want to kill people. Okay? If we don't get to see Morgan use his staff, how interesting is this going to be if we don't get to see him? And I'll finish the show just because I'm one of those assholes that once I start one, I'll finish it. But this show, there's like it's hard to get happy on that show. You're like, but there is the one character they did get out of that. It just wasn't enough. There's one guy that they developed. You're like, okay, I like him. And it just happened to be this gay black dude, but he was actually a great character. And you're like, okay, I like this dude. But like, you would have never thought he was a gay dude. That was like what Fear did, like these episodes where they were showing people's sexuality, and it was like, all right, we're here for the zombies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah. Yeah, I'll probably never watch Fear the Walking Dead.
I mean, if you watch it, I would say watch just the first 2 seasons, if anything, just to go, oh, okay, this is what they did. If anything, watch the 2 first seasons or watch season 1 and see if you want to watch the rest. I was more baffled of how idiotic some of the shit storylines. All of a sudden there's tanks. All of a sudden there's batteries. You know what I mean? There's like all this shit that they like. I remember at the end of season 2, I thought it was crazy that Herschel had all this power that nobody had. Like, damn, bro, how much gas did you have? You've been running these generators for a while now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like what he had. I guess they were going and getting like.
That's 1 hour. Boom. That's how quick an hour goes.
Oh yeah, that's it's a lot to talk about. Is anybody listening?
What did you think of the season overall?
Good season. I mean, there was a lot of good stuff. Not a lot of the main characters died, which was good. I mean, Dale died. That was.
Yeah, I thought that the characters that they did kill were the right ones. Let me check my notes while you're talking.
Yeah. Dale died. The way Dale died, I didn't like.
Neither did I.
I would have liked to see Dale go to the prison, and maybe him get killed by the governor. I could see that, but instead, as far as him,
I like that. No, I like the idea of that.
Yeah, as far as him getting, killed by a supernatural walker, I mean, that was just.
Well, no, it was killed by the walker. Dale got killed by the walker that Carl didn't kill.
Yep.
Remember, he was down by
yeah.
which made no sense either. Like, Carl, why are you playing with it? Ugh.
I mean, that was the kid in him, I guess. Yeah, season 2 was and there was a lot of character development. You got to see the
I put nothing like seeing Rick become Rick.
Yeah. Maggie and Glenn, well, that was whenever they that was cool whenever she was in there and they were like she's like, I'll have sex with you, and then they just
I thought that was just quick, and then
I know.
I don't know. I guess that was just. I don't know what that was showing. What made them talk about sex right there? Just because he had the condoms?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because he was like.
I couldn't imagine, like, okay, the death is all around you and having that kind of mindset. Like me, I would be in complete combat mode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I couldn't imagine being like, all right, we got a couple minutes. I understand people are human or whatever, but dude, this is the apocalypse. I couldn't imagine my brain being on that. I could be wrong, but I couldn't imagine it myself.
I don't know, man. Like, I can see, you feel like you're safe. You're on a farm. The farmer's daughter. I mean, and then, freaking Lauren Cole is fucking hot.
Yeah.
I mean, I could, I could see,
Well, that's where I'm like torn because don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm a big Maggie guy. I think if there was one girl you said, hey, you can choose this girl on all the seasons, it would be her. They made her really skinny for the role. They made all those chicks get bone skinny. Like, at times, I was wondering if I'm like, how's Rick's wife going to breastfeed this kid? She doesn't even look like she has tits anymore. You know what I mean? I thought Lori looked the best out of the women that were at the Herschel farm.
Yeah.
And then wait, what girl they introduced? Oh yeah, but no, Andrea looked best in the beginning, and then slowly I became a Maggie guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was yeah. Yeah, I mean, like it was, she was the girl next door, and Andrea was kind of like the MILF, kind of like older chick, I mean, that would, probably knows things, and I don't know. I don't know. Like this is, you can, like the kid in me is thinking that, Is anybody listening to us at this point? I can't tell. My thing's frozen.
I have no idea. My shit's kind of going in and out.
Yeah.
Some people on Twitch, yeah. We got like 5 on Twitch, 5 on YouTube. But my signal's a little faded, so I don't really know. It doesn't matter if I'm just doing a review for Walking Dead. I wanted to get on my shit anyway. I wasn't going to do a show tonight if I didn't come on with you. I was going to go to sleep. I was actually, but I actually watched it, and I actually felt like talking about that. I wanted to ask you what, the whole Shane thing. Did you think Rick was wrong? Like I said, I've asked this before, but you think Rick killing him was kind of out of place there, considering Shane was going to hug him? Oh, well, hey, this is all that matters right here. As long as Ashley's here listening, I mean, that's all that matters to me. So
I thought she was coming on.
You're the best.
I thought she was coming on the show.
She said she might do a future one. I said, watch this one to get a hang of it. She'll probably come on and do a future season with us.
Yeah. We could use all the help we can get.
I never heard
lady's
from
point of view.
He might come on eventually, but I never heard back from anybody. Next week, awesome. Yeah, we're gonna do
Yeah.
season 3, Ashley. Awesome. I'm excited.
Season
yeah,
3 is fucking great.
Even if we recorded these reviews with nobody watching, I would still do them. Like I got a little meme for today. Now, when they opened the bar and they showed Sophia coming out, I liked that it was Rick, the one that put the bullet in her head.
Yeah.
You know,
He had to. I mean, he had to. You know, that was his job as leader. Man, he had to prove
well, he was
himself
upset.
to.
They did search teams looking for her, and Daryl found the bunny. I just thought the search was far fetched because she got lost. I thought too easy.
I mean, you knew she was dead. You knew she was dead. I mean, there was no way she could have survived. I mean, I was thinking that she was going to end up getting, like, she had got kidnapped or something, or somebody had found her or something. I didn't think that she was. I didn't think she was still alive. So
Who was still alive?
the girl, the daughter, Sophia.
Oh, you did the. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could. You know what's funny is when I saw her walk out of the barn, I forgot about that. See, it's interesting. There's some shit I did forget about. Like I forgot that it was Shane that lured Rick out in the woods. I kept watching the season. I'm like, what does I kept thinking it was Rick's wife. Like, oh, you gotta take care of him. I didn't know. I forgot Rick made this decision himself.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm torn with that. Rick killing Shane. I don't know what to think about that. I don't even know why it's on my mind, but if there was two things that were on my mind from that was why Shane just couldn't work with Rick. Like why did his decisions bother him that much? And the fact that it was over a decision of that guy finding the farm and everything. Well, you saw what those people were capable of down by the store, then maybe you got to get Herschel out of there. Maybe this farm is not safe.
Yeah.
And if it's putting you in decisions where you got to kill that kid, and he ended up just like I said, Shane broke his neck. What's funny is I thought he lived, and then they found him down the road and had to kill him. But yeah, no, Shane broke his neck. And then, like, Daryl was already on to Shane. He kept saying, how the hell did he get a jump on you and get your gun? And Rick was even on to him.
Yeah. And
Rick gave him the opportunity to shoot him. This is why I'm torn. Rick, you gave him the opportunity to shoot you. He didn't. But you still killed him. You see, that's kind of deep.
Yeah.
It
was one of those.
Real quick, but think about that. Rick said, because I just saw the part. He's holding the gun out, and he goes, "Shane, go ahead." And he's pointing his gun not even towards Shane, and Shane decides not to kill him there. He goes, "We can look past this." As soon as Shane goes in to hug him, he stabs him and he kills him. Where he's blood's dripping out, he lets him bleed out, lets him become a walker. Then Carl just magically finds them.
Yeah.
Let me go for my dream. You know what I mean? Carl magically finding them there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was just, there was just so much more that could have been done with Shane in that sense. I mean, he could have helped. I think he could have helped with the prison. He would have, he'd have been really, useful as far as, planning against the governor. Like I said, he could have, eventually been, taken out by the governor, which would have eventually led to Rick's, really having to step up and
more aggressive. You know what's funny is Rick doesn't even. We could talk a little bit about the prison because I remember some of it, but Rick's not even the one that it doesn't happen in season 3. I don't think because I think the governor gets a couple seasons, don't he?
He goes through. I think he goes through to the end of season 4.
Yeah, but
remember
yeah. I think with the governor, only thing that threw me off was his infatuation with his dead daughter's head or whatever.
Yeah.
Did he keep his daughter?
His dead daughter, yeah.
Oh, he kept the whole daughter. I thought he kept the head.
Whole daughter, yeah.
Wasn't he keeping heads?
He had a bunch of heads, yeah. Because he was a psychopath. He's a psychopath.
Okay. That's fair.
He was a psychopath. That's the only thing I could think out of it. I mean, he tried to explain it like he was trying to prepare himself for what's on the outside, but he just, I think it was more of a power.
One thing Walking Dead is funny, and they always did this. Sometimes the walkers would come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how did you not see or hear? You know what I mean? They were never quiet.
Yeah, I mean,
oh, I'm looking over this tree. Oh, there's a like that close.
Yeah.
For instance,
for brainless zombies, they could sneak up on you pretty quickly.
The first horde that got Sophia away from the car,
mm-hmm.
They had a guy taking watch with binoculars. When they showed the horde was right there.
I mean, just sneaks up on you, man. That's,
And obviously, Carol's probably going to speak farther along. They're working on her.
Yeah. Well, I think it's after the governor is whenever she kind of gets her own. She gets she goes on to her own.
It's in the prison because they actually have her. Remember when they do like a fast forward and they put like a lot of people at the prison and they have her as like a training instructor?
Yeah.
She's like training them to do something and remember they all get sick? That's probably coming up soon.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm on like part 9 or 10 of season 3 right now. So it's like I'm almost to the end of season 3, and I know the governor, like they go into war with the governor the first time in season 4, and then he goes and regroups and gets with that other group, and then they come back and fight him again at the end of season 4. I mean, it's
what did
season
he call
3.
What did he call his little place? Did they have a name for the governor's town?
Woodbury, yeah.
Yeah, and then
Woodbury, Georgia.
And then the beginning of Carl kind of starts. Well, the sad part about that is Carl. They could have went so many different things with Carl that they never did. And that made me so mad when I think of the cool shit they did do with Carl and then the shit they did not do.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I was taking an injury. They had him lose his eye. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah, they killed Carl, and they shouldn't have killed. Carl should have been the one at the very end of the season, at the very end of the series. Like he's sitting around the fire, reading these kids. He's like, and that's the story of my father.
Or cool, he's got the sister. That's the story of your father. You're my sister. And Rick technically has another kid. You got to remember he has a kid with Michonne. They just haven't really, if they do anything with them, it would be this season. I hope they don't. I got to remember, the end of the season when Maggie came on, and I know they were showing her looking at Negan, so there's something there. It showed Negan looking at her like he's like, oh fuck. You just see Negan see her, and then he goes, oh shit. And then the reason why they got rid of her in the beginning, I thought they were just starting to develop her character really cool. Remember when she was going to hang that guy, and she goes, I want him hung. And they're like, what's happening to you? And then she just disappears. I'm going to grab the kid, I'm out. Yeah, and I obviously know why she did a show that tanked.
I mean, and she's doing movies too, so it's like,
Yeah,
um,
I don't know. I don't know what spin-offs they're coming out with, but I do have all the Walking Dead season beyond on DVR. I gotta watch it.
well, Daryl and Carol are actually going to be doing a spinoff in 2023.
I
They've
think
already got that
I
signed
don't know
up
if
for two
Rick's doing
seasons.
a movie or he's doing a spin-off, but I'm guessing it'd be a movie because I doubt he has the time to do a show anymore.
I think it's going to be a show. Are they supposed to be like an actual spinoff to The Walking
Oh,
Dead? I don't know what it's called.
I can picture Carol and what's his name doing that. I think Rick doesn't want to travel as much anymore, so I think if Rick came back, it would be for a spin-off movie.
Oh no, yeah, it's supposed to be Carol and Daryl. Not
Yeah.
Rick's dead.
Well, I'm saying they had something for Rick. Well, he's not dead. They show him alive.
His
You remember
whereabouts
that?
unknown. Yeah.
Well, they showed him in the helicopter with that weirdo bitch. I don't know if you followed that long that those weirdo people, and that was just weird. Remember, he was fighting a metal walker, and they're like, "What's Rick gonna fight this week?" He's fighting a metal walker. I'm like, "Oh my god!" You remember that?
I don't think I'm that far.
You want to go back and watch it eventually when it leads up to it, but Rick ends up meeting these wicker people. They're like the people that trash or something. It's these people that were in like a dumpster, but the girl ends up putting him in the helicopter. But you gotta go watch it. But they release this walker. It's like the part in Star Wars when they drop Luke, when Jabba drops him in the cave, and then they release that monster to go after him. But instead, in this, it's a metal walker. And it's coming out, and it's like got metal on him, and it's like making all the noises and shit. And Rick has to fight him, and it just shows you how far Rick has come along and shit.
The Rancor.
Yeah.
That's what Luke fought, was a Rancor.
Yep.
We gotta talk about Star Wars one day. I love Star Wars.
Yeah. You said you love Star Wars? Well, I have a real big problem of what they did to it. I wouldn't mind putting that on tape one day because I don't have that on tape. What they did, I would want to talk about what Disney did with the new ones.
Yeah.
What's sad about those movies is they were so bad to me that I could barely make it through them. Think of a Star Wars movie you ever watched that you couldn't make it through before those. Like, I had trouble like even acknowledging what was going on at times. Like, what's going on? Who's this? Why are we, like, let me give you an example. I had to jump off the dumbest shit I ever seen. And you would almost think I was really high because I'm like, what am I seeing? When the black dude and that Chinese woman end up on that ship to go to like some casino that I don't know, that they did nothing there.
Yeah.
That was the most disturbing shit I've ever seen in my life. Where I remember it's like if I had glasses on, I would have took them off. I was like, whoa. I remember when the first thing I said after the second movie they made was what they did to Luke Skywalker, it was over. It was like it didn't matter what you even did in the next movie after that. It was over then for me. That whole movie, that whole presentation of Luke, everything they did from the start of Luke, that shit was like, I'll give you an example. She met Luke on that fucking rock. He grabbed her fucking lightsaber and then he threw it. Why wouldn't Luke's opening scene, he's a goddamn Jedi Knight. Why wouldn't his opening scene be some scene where he's taking out 9 guys or something? Or he's doing something to help her out or something. I mean, this is Luke Skywalker. Jedi's opening scene should be noteworthy. Like, for instance, when he's releasing Han Solo from the carbonite, he's coming into Jabba's palace. You know what I mean? And they got a little thing going on, and then they end up on the cruisers. Boba Fett falls in there, but what you learn now is Boba Fett still lives. I don't know if you watched the Boba Fett sucked. The Mandalorian was good.
Yeah.
Disney, that Disney is the only company that is make believe that can get me upset. They get me
Yeah.
upset so bad because I was like, listen, you guys can fuck up every movie. I don't give a shit. You could remake
Yeah.
Dumbo, Aladdin, all that shit, get your cash grabs because they target a young audience and they know no matter what, they're like a title grabber, meaning they put that title, they know they're getting all those kids that do
Yeah.
go to, the dads that want to take their. That's my problem with Disney. But then they get like, for instance, you paid $4 billion for Star Wars and you didn't even keep George Lucas around. You got him so mad that he referred to you as slave drivers. He called you
Hmm.
white slavers. Watch that interview. I didn't even know that was a word. I heard George Lucas say that shit. I remember I was like, what? You know what I mean? You hear George Lucas in a CNN interview refer to Disney as white slavers. There's something going on there. There's
Yeah.
something deep. Like George Lucas said, picture your kid getting dragged around a racetrack by a horse. That was what it felt like watching Star Wars. That was George Lucas who got $4 billion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of shit you learned. Those movies were expensive for him to make. So it's like one of the reasons why he sold it is he really didn't have the money to make the new one. Yeah, they would have studio would have probably gave him the money, but like he said, the money you have to put into him and blah blah blah, you sometimes don't come out. You know what I'm talking about? I don't understand how that's possible with Star Wars, but he said sometimes they like the Jar Jar Binks one. He claimed he broke even. I'm
Yeah,
like, kind of
and
funny.
he's getting he's getting old. Like what is he? He's in his late 70s, isn't he? He's got to be.
Yeah, well,
He's got to
over
be.
now. He sold that bitch
Huh?
$4 billion in payments. Thank you,
Yeah.
see you later. Think about this. Could they even realistically, if there was another company that existed like Disney, could they even resell Star Wars in its current condition for $4 billion again? Think about
No.
that. You paid $4 billion.
No. No.
Think about what they did to that. Think about that. You paid $4 billion. Think of that product state after those movies. Fuck if Mandalorian was good, Boba Fett was good. Those movies you made, Solo, the one that you just wasted, the Rogue One where there wasn't even a Jedi or anything in it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess it's fun watching Star Wars with not one Jedi, not one blah blah blah. Now Solo could have been good if you had a good story. They really did not know what they were doing. Like when Chewbacca and Han Solo met, that should have meant something. That should have been
Yeah.
like memorable. The way Disney did that, I remember watching that movie. Like people didn't want to give it a chance. Like, how are you gonna make Solo? It's not gonna be any good. Even though it wasn't good, I thought it could have been good. You could have introduced some Jedi in there and still did the Han story. You know what I mean? Because Han Solo was a fucking, he was a gambler. He was like a dude that was in doing jobs and shit. You could have did some shit there.
Yeah.
Star Wars is what I
Oh.
think a little. I get a little. There was a special. I loved Star Wars, and the fact that I remember when they would announce a new Star Wars, you were pumped that month. Yeah, even when George did the remakes that weren't spot on, I was still able to make it through the movie, and I'd always go, "Damn," because there was a lot of things he did in those remakes that I didn't care for. Like he could have did better. Like there was too much love. There was too much of the Anakin wanting the princess, and it should have been more about Anakin turning into Vader.
Yeah.
You know,
Now, I mean, yeah.
Lucas taking
Star
$3 billion and
Wars.
kept creative control. Well, he should have, but they did not do that. He talked about it, Mount Timer, that they kind of were acting like when they had him on the scene, they were kind of just pretending he was there, but he said they weren't acknowledging him. Like he felt like he was there, but he felt like his input didn't mean anything. And this was the beginning of his anger with Disney.
Oh, is Mountain Man still in here? Good.
Yeah.
I didn't think
No,
anybody
there's
was
not many
listening anymore.
people. I don't know. It's probably just not many people. It's all right. I had a great time that night.
No, I know.
I think there's
Boland's
something
going
with the internet.
live
There's
against.
nobody watching Kenny's live. There's nobody watching him either.
Yeah. Well, good. If we can get more people than Boland, I'm fine. You know, we can sit here and talk about how to get rich quick or something like that. I'm good.
Well, let me now, since we kind of got caught up on part 2, what's going on with this war shit right now? Because I had no idea. What's currently going on with it? The war out there, is that stopped? Is this
What in the Ukraine?
Yeah.
I mean, Russia
I haven't heard nothing new. That's why I'm asking. Are they saying, is America said anything yet? Is there anything on that front?
No, I think America is going to try to.
If you're out there,
yeah, I think that we're going to try to be as diplomatic as possible, but then try not to piss as many people off as possible, and try to stay away from actually going to war, because I mean, nobody, we don't want war. I mean, and honestly, for me, Joe, I don't think we should have anything to do with it. I think that they should handle it themselves, and we should worry about us. I mean, it's just.
You know what, Jay? I said the same thing. I said, say whatever you want about our president or whatever. I don't think him saying, I don't want to be a part of their shit makes him weak or this or that. I'm not saying I'm a Joe Biden guy or anything, but I don't think some asshole wanting to take over another part of the country should be his problem. Like, oh, this would never happen if what's his name was president. If that's true, that's true, but I don't understand why he wouldn't want it if, we had a different president. This is probably something that was bound to happen.
Yeah. I think that that Biden's probably just like, okay, if I ignore it, maybe it'll go away, or it'll solve it. It'll fix itself.
I think this is how I would look at it. Think of the lives I'm saving by ignoring it. That would be my angle. Yeah. If I'm going to ignore it, hey, listen. If we, why do we got to play hero? What? China's already, I don't know why I said China, but you already got countries over there. Have one of them do it. It's crazy how big the world is when you think about it.
Yeah. Whoops. Fail.
Whoop.
I'm here. I'm just moving. Can you hear me?
I'm having service issues, Mountain Man. It seems like the internet's fucked up. I don't think we're getting accurate numbers.
Yeah.
I just heard him say my name. Wonder why.
Oh, can you hear me?
I wonder why he erased all those. Yeah, I can hear you. I wonder why he erased all those. You all right? But yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay,
but yeah, other than that, what we'll do is we'll do season 3. I think we covered everything we could in season 2. Is there anything I missed? I said T-Dog I didn't like the daughter committing suicide. They killed everybody else off. We all agreed Shane was a good character. He should have stayed around. I had nothing wrong with him killing Otis. I thought that was an interesting part.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, I think it was good character development for everybody. We got to see Rick come into his own.
Development, hands down, was Rick. Since Shane's dead.
And like, I think, like I was going to like I was saying earlier, I think that the reason that Rick killed Shane, besides the betrayal, was, I think it was almost like that Rick saw Shane as a threat to the leadership that he was trying to develop.
Well, I guess in a way he saw him as a threat, but I think he saw him more as a threat as this guy's trying to kill me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that true, but I'm saying, like, like you were saying, whenever Shane was going to embrace him and Rick killed him, I think the reason Rick did that was because he was, I think part of it was because he saw Shane as a threat to his word. Because if you remember, Rick was the leader and Shane was always contradicting Rick.
He felt like he said he was the odd man out, he felt like.
Yeah. I think that he probably was like, okay, Shane's going to be a liability for me and the group. He's going to contradict me. He's going to undermine me. I can't have that. So if he's going to try to kill me, I'm going to kill him first. And, that way I'm in control.
Yeah. But at the same time, it was Shane that was leading him out in the woods. You know what I mean? According to Rick, well, I mean, I just watched it too. According to Rick kept saying when he was talking to Lori out there, he goes, I just followed him and followed him and followed him. I knew what he was doing. And then Rick's like, this is where you planned on doing it. It's kind of weird because Rick gave him a shot to kill him. He didn't. And then he said, we can look past this, and then killed him. That's why it's like, man, I wish I could ask the director on that one. What he meant for Rick? Meaning, does that mean Rick's like lost it at that moment, or he just knew he had to have Shane out of the? He thought if he had Shane out of the picture, everything would work well for him.
That's exactly right. He thought
it's these old scenes. That scene's in my head. Like I remember some scenes I'll watch, stuff kind of sticks with me. The two scenes that stick with me on season 2. The bar scene shows you how fucking raw Rick is. The fact that dude was not able to get a shot off and Rick was able to turn around and kill him. Whatever. But I like that. And I like when I did like when Shane was shooting the walker and he goes, look, it keep coming. When they were trying to like walk the walker somewhere, that was weird. And Shane's out there losing it. I like when he's out there screaming. He does a good job of that. And Rick killing Sophia when he had to make the shot. And kind of Rick, like I said, just becoming himself, I think. I like the certain scenes with Rick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. He's, it was... He had to do what he had to do for what he thought was best for him and the group and his leadership. So, I say, and it was,
I would also ask the director, was Shane dead no matter what his contract was? That's one thing I would ask, if I could, to the directors.
Probably. I mean, because Shane was supposed to be the first antagonist. He was supposed to be the first bad guy, but he never really was because
his connection with the group.
Yeah. Like you felt sympathy for Shane, and you thought Shane was.
I still do feel bad for the guy.
Yeah. I mean, because he was doing what he thought was right. And I mean, you can't, how can you fault him for
I
that?
understood what Shane was talking about when he's like, yeah, you do this person's gonna die. I don't know about the Otis part. I think he should have let that happen more natural, but I think that's kind of showing you. I don't know if that was them trying to make you not feel bad for Shane later, him killing Otis, or just showing his turn
Yeah.
from being a cop to a killer.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
No, yeah, I mean, like, Otis was obviously a liability. He was gonna get them both killed, and I don't blame him for, I mean, it was a shitty thing to do, of course, but I mean,
Those are the scenes
he
that
was,
stick with you. There's another scene that's kind of sticks with me, thinking about him killing Otis, and then right before Otis is like, "I'm not going to leave you here, man."
yeah,
What I'm confused about is Shane. If you thought he was going to make it, if Shane should have just split off, he should have been like, "Listen, you might not be fast enough to make it. I got to run. You can keep up. You can keep up. You can't look at me as if I'm leaving you here."
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, and Daryl made a good point. He goes, how did he come back with a dead man's gun?" Yeah, see, Daryl was smart early, and he made a comment. He said, "They're just not trying to, they're not trying to think it out yet,"
yeah,
which was right, because they start to figure out shit like that on other groups when they have to make the move to kill them or whatever. Remember when they're going to that one place that said all is welcome, and they're going through the line, and Rick sees a watch. He sees Herschel's watch, and then him and Daryl decide to take out like all five of them guys. As I said, that was the
yeah,
great Rick.
yeah.
Great Rick.
Oh man, yeah. There's a lot of
Anything
there's
else?
a lot of good stuff, huh?
Anything else you can think of from season 2?
Um, no, I mean it was a good season. Season 3 I think was better, and that'll be a good episode, and that'll be a good show we can do with.
I'm interested to see when it trails off for me as well, because I know there's a couple seasons I think I started to get angry with the show.
Yeah,
I think it was really the battle. The battle with Negan is when I thought shit started to go a little soft for me.
yeah,
And Alexander, I just thought all these fucking environments were just a little far fetched. I
yeah,
liked when they were on the run, they were on the move. Like, boom, they got to go here, they got to go there. Eventually, it's like, oh, we got beds, we got bathtubs, we got. Season
when
2,
they're
they
trying to.
pull the walker out of the well, and then he splits in half.
Yeah,
Yeah, they didn't do shit with T Dog, and
yeah,
I didn't even care for T Dog. It was funny, out of all those characters, even though you know T Dog dies, you almost wish they could have killed T Dog and not Shane.
yeah.
And the little blonde, I never cared for it. I thought her death was lazy writing too at the hospital.
Oh, Beth, yeah.
Yeah, no problem with her dying. Lazy, I thought.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing how they just keep running into people, like like there was a lot of survivors apparently. Like it's so maybe
Yeah.
I guess the virus wasn't as deadly as they said. So
Well, and the fact that Herschel and them were really away from everything. Like, they had
yeah,
orange juice. They're like setting the table. I'm like, hey, just give me my food. I'm gonna eat standing up. Like, I don't
yeah,
know. I thought, like, and Shane said it. What's funny is Shane did say it. He goes, everyone's running around wanting to play house. He was right there.
mm-hmm,
It's not time to play house anymore.
No, I mean Shane was a survivalist and Shane was realistic, and everybody was
Yeah,
wanting to hold on to what they used to have, and he was like, "No, we're going to die if we do that." So,
it's
that's
crazy to
why
think
Shane was,
21 episodes of Shane because that was
you know,
13 and they killed him on 12, so they only got
yeah,
20 episodes of Shane.
like Shane he wasn't a villain. He wasn't a bad character. He was realistic, and like I said, I mean, you know, the things that Rick does, we can't say that Rick is the good guy. Like there is
And that's where
no,
we're at. Ashley, we are on the Governor season.
yeah, we're gonna be on, like, we'll be doing that next week, in season 3.
Yeah,
That should be a,
do it on Saturday because Friday I do the Mario Kart thing.
yeah, we're gonna start doing it Saturday again. I'm gonna have to get off here in about 20 minutes probably.
That's fine. No, it's fine. Yeah, then we'll have
Yeah,
2 hours. That's fine. I only
yeah,
planned 2 hours. We didn't.
yeah,
We did,
I
if you,
think, and we got a bad connection, man, because you're breaking in and out really bad.
I know. I think that's. I think it's going on everywhere because I'm looking at Boland's, and he doesn't. I don't think he's getting full reception either. He looks like he's clicking out, in and out.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna probably when I get off with you, I'm gonna reset my whole thing. I might do some video gaming, but yeah, if you want, we can stay on for 20 more minutes. It'll be 2 hours.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. We'll like, man, this whole, like,
What'd you
this
think of
whole
the
Russian,
political show
huh?
on my birthday? I'm so sorry he wouldn't answer your questions when I highlighted him. It
Yeah,
was hard.
he was rambling and meandering and,
I
just
thought the
beating
one thing
around the
I picked
bush,
up was that he repeated himself and some stuff he wouldn't acknowledge. And then the one guy
hemming
goes,
and hawing. I mean, he wouldn't answer the questions. He was hemming and hawing. He obviously has no idea about the actual stuff that the Democrats and Republicans do. He just knows that
sorry, I
Trump
keep
was,
going in and out.
he just knows that Trump was bad and Biden's
Yeah,
good and all this other stuff. I mean, he
40
doesn't,
times.
huh?
That's what he always goes to is the 43 times the whenever you bring up something, like he kept going back to, we would ask you a question about Biden, and every time you ask him a question about Biden, it seems like he would say something about Trump. And people in the comments were like, well, they didn't even ask you a question that involved Trump. And he will
Yeah.
never acknowledge those. It's like, hey, go to this one. I don't know. I just, I get a kick out of it because I don't even know what the fuck he's saying it, but he did come across repeating a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like, we don't, why weren't we talking about, how Biden was, had gave, how the $1.9 trillion, how the $1.9 trillion that was given as a relief bill, that only, I want to say it was like 100 and something billion went to actual individuals, and the rest of it went to different corporations and different businesses that shouldn't have been given that much darn money in the first place. Like, I want to say several, like, it was like oh man, what was it? It was several $1 billion was given to Walmart.
He probably
Like,
doesn't even know about that shit. That's the sick
like
part.
to Walmart? A fucking multi-$100 billion company is getting more money from the government for what? Like, what are they getting money for? Like, it doesn't. I mean, just, and like his tax plan is a joke. I mean, he has no idea. I mean, he's a career politician, and he's trying to stay He's trying to make all his friends in Congress happy, but at the same time, he's trying to make to appease his, political supporters or financial supporters. So he's passing things that the American public's not really taking into consideration because, hey, and every time, somebody tries to point a finger at it, he's like, oh, well, Trump did this, and Trump had all these women, and Trump, made sex videos, and he had sex with porn
Or he
stars.
fired these people.
I mean,
It's kind of embarrassing sometimes, and I don't even know much about it. But when I see people react, it's like, damn, why don't you guys ever? Why is there always one answer? It's like the same. It's almost like I've never heard them answer any different. Like I've never heard them say, you know what, we're wrong there.
Yeah, hey, nothing to see here, folks. Go on, nothing to see here. Just keep on moving. Look the other way. Hey, look at that guy over there.
We got rid of blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I think a lot of those videos that I brought up, I think what Kenny didn't want to admit was a lot of them were kind of right. Like the one guy, even Kenny said, he goes, I kind of agree with this guy. See, Kenny, you do agree with some of them. Because or I'd show him a video and then his answer would be the answer that he had for the video before. I didn't think he would do that anymore, but that was funny. But it did good. The video got a lot of views, and I thought it did well. A lot of my friends thought it got a kick out of it. Obviously, like I said, watch it with a grain of salt. Don't watch it for information. Just watch it just to watch somebody say a bunch of shit that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, but you got to have them on again and just have somebody there to take the piss out of it.
Well, no, that's what I said. You could come on. That could be you.
Yeah, I mean, just like somebody to say, hey, so Kenny, so your beloved Biden and Democrats, they took 10,000 or so Americans out of Afghanistan, and within 24 hours, it was raided by Al Qaeda, and thousands upon thousands of people lost their life. I mean, was that was that a smart thing to do? I mean, how much actual, time and money and a minute amount of our troops was over there. So, I mean, we got more troops in Germany than we did in Iraq. I mean, I'm sorry, Afghanistan. So, why did we just up and leave if it wasn't a political thing? I mean, it was a stupid decision. But I mean, and we shouldn't have been over there in the first place anyway. But I mean, still, he's just
for some reason when they talk about bringing troops out, I'm not against that. For some reason, when I think about them saving people and getting them out of war, I always say I'm for that, I guess. But I know probably ended up costing people lives what he did. So
it did. A lot of them, yeah.
Definitely next time, dude. I would love to have you on. That's what I said. We could make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, he can. I'd love for him to try to cut a promo and cuss me out and stuff like that. That's fine. He's gonna say, "Hey, block him, get him out of here, block him."
I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna make sure if he agrees to it. I'm gonna make sure there's some rules.
Yeah. Or he's gonna say, Pesci, I gotta go. Bye, and then hang up on you or something like that.
I'd rather have him do that because I'm not gonna let him say get rid of you. What I think would be cool. I would be cool if he did it like in a debate manner, meaning I could mute our mics. Kenny, I'm gonna mute Jay's mic for 3 minutes.
Yeah,
you could go for it. You know what I mean? And then you go, vice versa. I think that would work. And I think people would be entertained. It would all be on Kenny playing ball because a guy like you would be able to listen to him and not like lose your mind, meaning you'd play fair if he was playing fair. He
Yeah.
probably wouldn't play fair. Oh, get this
Oh,
damn Republican out of here. That's goddamn Trump supporter 43 time. He's a sex offender, Pesci. He's a
no,
draft dodger.
I didn't
He's a
like
pussy
Trump.
grabber. Remember when he called her a pussy grabber? And I go,
Hmm.
what? Or Groper. I'm
Yeah.
like, Daddy, did you just call him a pussy groper? He's a pussy groper. He's a draft dodger. He's goddamn Bible thumper.
Yeah.
He's goddamn fucked
No.
his sister. I'm like,
So
see that shit I
yeah.
never heard. He fucked his sister.
So he wasn't a Bible thumper. I mean, he was holding the Bible upside down. I mean, if he was a Christian, he was the worst example of a Christian. I mean, it was just daggone ridiculous. But I mean, I didn't support Trump. I didn't like Trump. Trump was a con man. Trump was a liar.
Yeah.
Trump didn't have a damn clue about politics. He didn't have a damn clue how to run the country. He did as a political stunt slash. He knew that he was going to be in some big trouble with his, with the state of New York, with his taxes, with his all the shit that happened in Mar-a-Lago, where he was, had the immigrants and all this other stuff. I mean, he was going to be facing some legal trouble, and he's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to run for president because they can't arrest the president. And
Jake,
you know,
I like no, go finish your thought first, and then I'll say what I was saying.
no, I mean, like, Trump was not a Republican. Trump was the opposite of a Republican. He got attached to the Republican Party because there's a lot of far right extremists out there. There's a lot of a lot of conspiracy theorists, a lot of racists, a lot of bigots, a lot of homophobes out there in the Republican Party.
Me and Jacob were on a show where this guy said he thinks Trump's still president. And we asked him, Jacob goes, do you still think Donald Trump's president? And this dude looked at us and goes, I know he is. Dude, if you want to watch a crazy ass show that had Sasquatch, time traveling, and Donald Trump, I'll have to link you in that.
I mean, just like, I mean, like, he was the absolute opposite of what the Republican Party is supposed to stand for. It's supposed to stand for America first. It's supposed to stand for family. It's supposed to stand for low taxes, and it's supposed to stand for morals and for law and order. And you're talking about a man who was trying to avoid the law, who had no morals, who had a creepy family who he obviously cared nothing about. I mean, okay. I mean, regardless of what he did in his bedroom.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
It's none of my business. Yeah, I don't care. I mean, he was married several times.
That's why people, I think this is just a theory. When they used to talk about stuff he would say behind closed doors about women or whatever, I think the reason why that didn't bother many Republicans is because that's just like locker room talk. What kind of guy didn't say stuff like that behind closed doors? I could be wrong there, but I always thought that's why they were able to look past that. Oh, I think we just lost Jason because of the weather. Hello? Hello? Well, I'm going to be dead honest, folks. I might take the rest of this evening to take a nap. And Well, we'll see if what's his name. Let's give it a little. Let's give it a little tune. She said, "Enjoy your nap." Well, I mean, normally I do like a long Saturday show, and I did 10 hours yesterday, and then I did a bunch of hours the day before. I think tonight, if I could get a nice little. Oh, wait, the good Revern has come back. I didn't know. Hold on, Mia. I didn't know if you were cut off.
No, I hit the wrong. My damn phone messed up. But no, I mean, just I'm a Republican, and we stand for morals and right and wrong and law and order and family and America first, and I would love to debate Kenny on that, and
Yeah, we got to make that happen. That's the next.
the
next time I do a clip show, we're getting you involved somehow.
Sure, that'd be great. Yeah,
into it.
I was gonna tell you though, brother. Like, I am so looking forward to, and like I said, just tell me what you want to do with it as far as compensation goes with the Dutch show. If you can get it working. I'm actually gonna buy his book, so I can like read his book and then ask him questions from his book, and just be like a mark or whatever.
Yeah.
Are you there? Can you see me?
Oh, yeah, I'm listening. Sorry. I was saying what's up to Rome. He had some stalkers over there I had to get rid of.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no,
sorry.
I seen it on Amazon. I'm gonna buy it. And I'm like, this would be great to talk about with Dutch. Like, we could,
I thought that'd be sweet to get Kenny to debate against you and Dutch.
Oh no, he wants to debate it. Yeah.
I think Dutch would have had a field day with that show the other day. He would have been like, "Oh, this is a show," because they can't be on. That's political. So Dutch would have been like, "Man, get me on this." That probably would have been the one I would enjoy.
Yeah, no. If Dutch wanted to get on there and show Kenny some shit, I'd sit out, brother. I wouldn't. I just want to watch it. I wouldn't want to see that. I wouldn't want to get involved because he's been around a lot longer than me, and he probably, Dutch probably studies this shit a lot more than I do. So it's like, but no, like I'm, like I said, I'll.
Scott Ash's highway robbery. Sheriff, they're getting vaccinated. Why do a clip show? He says the same shit no matter what clip. But it would be funnier if Jason Robbins was there just to hear him, address an actual person.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I could, we can talk about actual Republicans.
And
not
yeah. Oh, that's great. Oh, let me say hi to Jake. I think Jake went live. I'm going to say hi.
Hey, see if Jake wants to come on. What's Jake doing?
I think he's already live on his channel.
Oh.
Let me ask him if he wants me to. Hold on. But yeah, I wonder. I think Schmidt's at work tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this I'm going to probably put an end to as well. I don't like the I'm talking thing. That's a little that's something you say to a 4-year-old. I'm talking.
I don't know. Like, I'll tell him I'm not afraid of him. I'm not afraid of him at all. Like, If he wants to drive all the way down here to try to whoop my ass, he can. I don't care.
No, he's not going to take that kind of time.
I mean, like I'm not afraid of him. So if he wants to tell me he's talking, I'm gonna say, well, great way to point out the obvious, I guess.
Well, I guess Jake's good.
Mountain Man, how you feeling? Are you feeling all right? Brother, do you need a heat?
So some reason on Bolins, it's just Bob Hazelwood. Oh, the beautiful Ashley's still in here. I use with my 2-year-olds. I'm talking, LOL. Oh, yeah, see? And this guy says it to like me. I'm talking, and he'll say it to Schmidt and Hazelwood. Bolin blocks me quickly because I talk over him. Kenny is too. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we could end it if you want, Jason. I don't have much more to say tonight. I'm actually probably just gonna go to sleep. But we're definitely gonna do season 3 next week, and I think Ashley's gonna join us. So I'm gonna be super pumped about that. And
oh yeah, it'll be great. Season 3 is so good, man. Season 3
it'll be good to have a woman's perspective on The Walking Dead, at least for me. Oh,
absolutely,
Jonathan. Yeah. Hey, Jonathan. Jonathan, anything to report out there? Jonathan's a good guy. It's funny that a lot of Kenny's audience, not as left as you would think. That was crazy to me to find that out. Like I thought,
I'll give you.
Like on my show, I thought there was going to be like a lot of people like, Kenny, why are you letting them do this? Blah, 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 fuck, blah, blah, blah. But everyone was just kind of, they were leaning more on the right. But he did make this comment. I would do it again tomorrow. He made it sound like people hated it. But he liked it. He liked the money. It was easy. How could you not like the money? For me, it would be, damn. Imagine if you could get paid to look stupid. I'd do it. Right? I would do it.
Yeah.
I know, right? I'm saying I would have did it. Like if you would have said, hey, Patchy, I'll pay you $200 to go defend what's his name. All right. Even though I don't know what I'm saying, sure. Money all day.
Have Ashley and the Preacher Man what?
I don't know what that means. Wear Daisy Dukes?
Daisy.
What is that? Like was that a pair of shorts?
That's them shorty shorts.
Oh, I'm not a shorty short guy.
I don't want to show anybody up showing my ass off like that.
Sheriff said the pegging. He wants to see people's asses. I don't know what's been up with Sheriff recently. He said, LOL.
What is pegging? I missed that whole damn thing. Is that like butt stuff?
I don't know what it is. I'm going to tell you what it is. And look, I even asked this question on the poll, and then you tell me what you think. So the glorious Ariel, because she's a brave soul for talking about it. Pegging is when, and I had no clue until she brought this up, is when the girl wears a strap on and fucks the guy. Or it could probably be a guy too, but I don't know why a guy would wear a strap on. And then my poll question was this. A guy receiving the pegging, is that gay? And I said, to me, yes. Some people were like, well, if the girl's giving it, and I'm like, well, if the girl's giving it, it's still gay to me. If you did that in my household, I'd probably go, man, that's fucking gay.
Yeah, I mean,
the gays.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like that's, like I said, I don't never judge people what they do in their bedroom. Like I've done some.
They just said the question was, is that like a gay act? Well, to me, it's not. It's definitely not to me. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think it's an interesting conversation for some kind of group to have. Maybe not me.
Okay, dude. No, 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 no. All right, I'm not talking about like a like a strap on or nothing like that. That's just a little. That's a little too fucking like.
That's what we're
Okay,
talking
that's
about.
just
Think
weird.
about a girl
Okay, yeah,
wearing a
yeah.
strap on and fucking you in your ass.
Okay, now have you ever experienced a like where she like messes with your prostate? Have you ever experienced that shit before?
Honestly,
Like
no.
she's okay, like she's sucking you off, right? And then she's like she takes her middle finger
I know
and
what you're
she like
talking about. No.
you know no and like she just rubs it right because it's like right in between your like little taint area right there. As soon as like
I
no, I'm
saw that
serious.
movie.
I'm
Um,
I'm
Road.
serious, dude. Like that. Like you want to talk about a fucking you grab the fucking headboard because it's just so fucking intense.
But the
I'm
thought
sitting.
of me being there by a dick being pegged into my ass, I guess I'll pass on that
No,
sensation.
no, I wouldn't do that shit. Now I'm talking about like like your girl,
It's
and
okay,
she's
man.
got like
You let me stick this fucking thing up your ass, you're gonna feel great. No, I'll take your
no,
word for that.
probably not. I'm talking about like just like that one finger, and like she's massaging an area that's
The
you
thought
know
of you wearing short
should be
shorts,
massaged.
Ashley. All right. Um,
Yeah.
Boss man, checking in. Hey, boss man, it's great from West Virginia now. What happened to sunny San Diego? You've lost this much money. He's a now. Boss man's definitely a Republican. I'm not judging, but that's not my cup of tea. Right? Yeah. To me, I don't care if somebody does that. I just said hypothetically. Does that make somebody gay? I said it sounds like a gay act. Because whether it's a great sensation or not, what it took to get there, I'll pass. It's like telling
Yeah.
me to have a good day. I got to go jump out of an airplane or something.
Yeah. So as far as like the whole, strap on and shit like that, no, I would never fucking do that shit. Cause it hurt. It'd probably fucking hurt. I couldn't do that shit, man.
Yeah,
That's
I know what
stupid.
you mean by if a girl's putting her shit up there, sure, sure. I'm just
I'm
saying.
telling you, man. It's
I
it's
saw the movie
interesting.
Road Trip. Remember in the movie Road Trip where they're jacking off,
Yeah.
and he said, "I'm having trouble." And what happens is the hot nurse goes in there and she puts the glove on and she makes that dude Stifler from whatchamacallit scream. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
It's some for real shit, man.
But yeah, you ready to end?
I mean, on that note, yeah. I mean, wow.
Oh, no, the only reason I'm just honestly, I'm just afraid. I'm tired. I think we got the 2 hours in. We're good.
Yeah.
We'll get number 3 in next week. I'll get my
Oh
energy
yeah. It
back.
was a good show. It was a good show.
But
Yeah.
Road Trip was a good movie. Hell yeah. What TF did I walk back at? Well, we were talking about Jason didn't know what pegging was. The usual.
I
I mean,
do.
who does? You know what I mean? I would have
I've never
never
heard
knew.
it called that before.
Oh, what did you hear it called by chance?
Getting
Put
getting getting fucked up the ass by a strap on, I guess it would be.
a
I've,
plastic gang.
I've I've never heard like someone,
Getting the
like
bowl.
yeah. You said getting a
Oh,
bowling? Is that what you said?
yeah, I don't know why I threw that out there.
Did you say getting a bowling? Wow, okay. Nah,
Um,
I think that you're gay if you find someone of the same sex attractive and want to be with that person. Then that makes you gay. But if you like kinky shit in the bedroom, like,
No wonder. No wonder I'm so tired. So my last 4 podcasts, 8 hours, 7 hours, 37 minutes, 5 hours, 3 hours and 42 minutes, 10 hours and 27 minutes, and 2 hours today. I'm going to get my energy back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Pesci getting the energy back. We're going to probably be beating Cyberpunk.
Sheriff,
Other than that,
I'm telling you, brother. I'm telling you, Sheriff. You don't know. I mean, yeah. That's it's intense. I'm telling you, you got a
well, he's
nice.
not talking about his wife sticking a peg up there. He's talking
I ain't
about
no
an index or something.
middle.
He said middle. Oh, sorry, that made me laugh. I had a great day today. I saved 10% by switching to Geico, but I'll be honest, I had a really good week this week, money wise. And I think people started to get their income because I listed a couple cars, and I think they're going to buy them. But other than that, how'd your week go? It was a great week, man.
Oh man, it was beautiful down here, dude. It was in the 70s yesterday, and it was just like we're starting to get that spring come in, and I mean, we've been a little slow at work. I mean, I think it's going to pick up here in a couple of months when people start getting their taxes back. But I mean, it's it's just it's a good time of the
Behind
year, man. Huh?
Are you behind the desk yet?
Oh, next Monday.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no, 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 no. I start my training Monday. This Monday. Bunch of
Uh,
computer stuff.
Hold on 1 second. Let
But
me piss real quick, Jason.
oh yeah, you're fine. I'm gonna shoot the shit with the comments here. Um, let's see. Uh, Sheriff, how's it going? How's work going and all that good stuff? Punch, good to see you. Uh, Mountain Man, I'm glad you're feeling better and whatnot. Now, if he's doing that shit, then you need to cut. You need to call
I'm
the
gonna make
damn.
some corn dogs tonight.
You need to call the police.
Make a corn dog. Looks like Bolin's getting brave. It looks like he's DJing now. Well, let's get caught up with the comments. Um, Now, if you go to the DR and he checks your prostate with both hands on your shoulders, you may have gay problems. Wait, what does that mean? Checks your prostate with both his hands on your shoulders.
He's fucking you in the ass, Pesci.
Oh, okay. Well, dude, I'm not. I don't tell a lot of gay jokes. So when one comes across my way, it might go over my head. My apologies if Pesci doesn't catch a gay joke. You know what I mean? I'm probably the last guy in the room to go, yeah, I've heard that one. It's pretty gay and I love it.
Hmm.
Jason, you really gonna yeah. As long as there's a understanding. It's not, hey, debate Bolin. It's, hey, let's debate Jason with a little respect. Let's try to give the people a show, but Let's give him a show of, actual being like being being not an asshole, giving the other guy a chance, playing fair. Like, for instance, what I like about you, Jason, is I could probably talk about anything with you, and you're not going to really be like that upset at me. Like if I said I don't like Trump, it's not like you're going to hate me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
like get me out of here or act weird. If I brought somebody on to debate you, you're going to probably
yeah.
play ball and play fair.
Of
But the
course.
problem is, everybody that watches me, for the most part, it's like we're all on the same page. He's the only one that's really on a different page. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like Schmidt's over there, you know, Mr. Lefty. Bob might come across, but gun to head, he's not as left as that bowling. I said gun to head.
Yeah.
The thought of that. Sorry. But yeah,
I mean,
and then most guys are like Sheriff, and even Sheriff can hear a guy like Kenny talk, but still go back and watch him. Like, it's not like a Trump thing where someone's like, oh, I can't watch that ever again. I'll never be like me. If somebody says something stupid, I could go watch them again just to see if they do it again.
yeah. But you have a lot of you have a lot of your fans, like Kenny's fans, are you got a lot of them that are on the right, and like Sheriff there, like he's a a white blooded
White blooded.
a white blooded Republican male who's proud who's
White
proud
blood.
to be
I've
an
never heard
American and
that. White blood. I love
proud to
that.
be an American.
Yeah, yeah. No, there's nothing wrong with that, but that sounds like something I would say with my buddies. White
Yeah.
blooded. God, that was good.
Proud to be an American. An
But
America,
yeah,
an America first kind of guy. That's who he is, and that's who I am
well,
too. And
how I am is I'm the kind of guy that doesn't get mad when they're talking about somebody put America first. Like, if they're like, oh, this guy's
yeah,
problem is. I never had a problem with. I think when you watch movies or watch videos and you see what's going on out there, I think it's silly when people act like this is the worst country out there. Like, they interviewed these girls on a college campus that knew nothing, and they're like, "Yeah, if you could live somewhere else or blah blah blah," and they're like, "America's not really the best country anymore," and they're like asking these girls to name it, and the countries they would name were just kind of like crazy. You're like, what are they talking about? America first
yeah,
is BC. Yeah. We find out where BC stands. Some people see Bolin and they're like thinking they're seeing a mirage. Like, imagine seeing him for the first time, and the first
hmm
time you're seeing him, it's in a political realm.
yeah. I mean, and
He said, "I'm a registered Dem, no joke. I just can't stand commies." That's what. Yeah, Kenny did tell us that. I just can't stand commies. That's funny.
Sheriff, I still respect and appreciate everything that you do, and I
Oh
know
yeah.
you're one of the good guys. You're one of the good guys.
Well, you stand for that.
Um,
Dan Pagano said they're all running the left, running for the waving the white flag, like we need you or whatever. Running back to the Republican side of things. Hold on, I'm checking the score of this game. Wow, he's got 23 again tonight. Wow. Yeah.
Jonathan, good for you, sir. We need more fellas who can stand up and say that they are proud to be Americans and want to.
What flag is that? Is it the Russian flag?
That's the
No, that's
Russian flag, yeah.
no, that's not the Russian. That's Ukraine, ain't it?
I think that's the Russian.
Oh, I thought Russian was red with the yellow.
Mm-mm. Yeah, Russian is
What flag is that, Mountain Man? Please. DL's cool. Yeah, no shit he is. I'll tell you this. He might be a registered Democrat, but he thinks Kenny's full of shit, so it's not like he's a dumb Democrat, if that. If there, I guess we're meeting one of the smartest registered Democrats in Kentucky is white at kissed a Donald
why
Duck.
the sheriff is a Dixie Democrat. That's
No,
what he
you
is. He's
green, yellow, and blue. Damn, I
yeah,
hope
that's
Jake. What happened?
yeah, that's the Russian flag, Pesci.
I can cut my lip. Why? What happened to Jake?
Did he have a nervous breakdown? Jake gets so intense sometimes.
No, he does. That's his only issue problem. I think, but then when you'll talk to him, let's see, I talk to him all the time. A couple hours later, he's all calm usually. So
Yeah.
it's like, how real is your blow up? I always ask him. I'm like, buddy, because you're fine now. Like, when he blows up on somebody, I think sometimes if the camera's not on and you just like talk to him, he's a little bit more mellower.
Mm-hmm.
I almost wonder if sometimes it's just from being around bowling and all the shit about working. I almost wonder if it's more show at times.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't really hate anybody. You know what I mean? He really doesn't. And sometimes fucked up shit happens to him, like that Angelo guy blocked him for some reason. That made no sense to me. What do you want, Daisy? Well, listen, I'm going to end stream right now because I got to
All right,
take
brother.
this dog to do some other things.
Absolutely. Hey, guys, it's been a privilege and a pleasure. I will see y'all next week, and we're going to have the lovely Ashley on, and she's
If I
going to
come
add
on,
some.
do some gaming if I come on in a little bit, but I might just pass out.
I'm going to sleep. So y'all have a wonderful one. BC, Jonathan, Mountain Man, Sheriff, Punch.
Ashley, the beautiful Ashley there. We love you. You're going to be here with us next week. That's awesome.
Guys, we appreciate you.
My hat to you. But yeah. Goodbye.